Criminology Board Exam Reviewers. Criminal Law Book 2. Definition of Terms. Part 2. Prohibition, interruption and dissolution of peaceful meetings. It is a crime committed by a public officer who prohibits or interrupts, without legal ground, the holding of a peaceful meeting, or by dissolving the same, or hinders any person from joining any lawful association or from attending any of its meetings, or prohibits or hinders any person from addressing, either alone or together with others, any petition to the authorities for correction of abuses or redress of grievances. Interruption of religious worship. It is a crime committed by any public officer or employee who shall prevent or disturb the ceremonies or manifestations of any religion, offending the religious feeling. It is a crime committed by anyone who, in a place devoted to religious worship or during the celebration of any religious ceremony, shall perform acts notoriously offensive to the feelings of the faithful. Physical torture. Physical torture is a form of treatment or punishment inflicted by a person in authority or agent of a person in authority upon another in his, her custody that causes severe pain, exhaustion, disability or dysfunction of one or more parts of the body. Mental or psychological torture. Mental, psychological torture refers to acts committed by a person in authority or agent of a person in authority which are calculated to affect or confuse the mind and or undermine a person's dignity and morale. Political crimes. Crimes that are directly aimed against the political order, as well as such common crimes as may be committed to achieve a political purpose. The decisive factor is the intent or motive. Rebellion and insurrection. The crime of rebellion or insurrection is committed by rising publicly and taking arms against the government for the purpose of removing from the allegiance to said government or its laws, the territory of the Philippine Islands or any part thereof, of any body of land, naval or other armed forces, depriving the chief executive or the legislature, wholly or partially, of any of their powers or prerogatives. Coup d'état. The crime of coup d'état is a swift attack accompanied by violence, intimidation, threat, strategy or stealth, directed against duly constituted authorities of the Republic of the Philippines, or any military camp or installation, communications network, public utilities or other facilities needed for the exercise and continued possession of power, singly or simultaneously carried out anywhere in the Philippines by any person or persons, belonging to the military or police or holding any public office of employment with or without civilian support or participation for the purpose of seizing or diminishing state power. Conspiracy to commit rebellion. There is conspiracy to commit rebellion when two or more persons come to an agreement to rise publicly and take arms against the government for any of the purposes of rebellion and decide to commit it. Proposal to commit rebellion. There is proposal to commit rebellion when the person who has decided to rise publicly and take arms against the government for any of the purposes of rebellion proposes its execution to some other person or persons. Disloyalty of public officer or employees. It is a crime committed by public officers or employees who have failed to resist a rebellion by all the means in their power, or shall continue to discharge the duties of their offices under the control of the rebels or shall accept appointment to office under them. Inciting to rebellion or insurrection. The crime is committed by any person who, without taking arms or being in open hostility against the government, shall incite others to the execution of any of the acts specified in Article 134 of the Revised Penal Code, by means of speeches, proclamations, writings, emblems, banners or other representations tending to the same end. Sedition. The crime of sedition is committed by persons who rise publicly and tumultuously in order to attain by force, intimidation, or by other means outside of legal methods, any of the following objects. 1. To prevent the promulgation or execution of any law or the holding of any popular election. 2. to prevent the national government, or any provincial or municipal government or any public officer thereof from freely exercising its or his functions, or prevent the execution of any administrative order. 3. To inflict any act of hate or revenge upon the person or property of any public officer or employee. 4. To commit, for any political or social end, any act of hate or revenge against private persons or any social class, and 5. To despoil, for any political or social end, any person, municipality or province, or the national government, or the government of the United States, of all its property or any part thereof. Tumultuous acts. Acts are considered tumultuous if caused by more than 3 persons who are armed or provided with the means of violence. Conspiracy to commit sedition. It is a crime committed by persons conspiring to commit the crime of sedition. Inciting to sedition. It is a crime committed by any person who, without taking any direct part in the crime of sedition, should incite others to the accomplishment of any of the acts which constitute sedition, by means of speeches, proclamations, writings, emblems, cartoons, banners, or other representations tending to the same end, or upon any person or persons who shall utter seditious words or speeches, write, publish, or circulate scurrilous libels against their government of the United States or the government of the Commonwealth of the Philippines, or any of the duly constituted authorities thereof, on which tend to disturb or obstruct any lawful officer in executing the functions of his office, on which tend to instigate others to cabal and meet together for unlawful purposes, on which suggest or incite rebellious conspiracies or riots, on which lead or tend to stir up the people against the lawful authorities or to disturb the peace of the community, the safety and order of the government, or who shall knowingly conceal such evil practices. Clear and present danger rule. It states that words must be of such nature that by uttering them there is a danger of public uprising and that such danger should be both clear and imminent. Dangerous tendency rule. It states that if words used tend to create a danger of public uprising, then those words could properly be subject of penal clause. Acts tending to prevent the meeting of the National Assembly and similar bodies. It is a crime committed by any person who, by force or fraud, prevents the meeting of the National Assembly, Congress of the Philippines, or of any of its committees or subcommittees, constitutional commissions or committees or divisions thereof, or of any provincial board or city or municipal council or board. Disturbance of proceedings. It is a crime committed by any person who disturbs the meetings of the National Assembly, Congress of the Philippines, or of any of its committees or subcommittees, constitutional commissions or committees or divisions thereof, or of any provincial board or city or municipal council or board, or in the presence of any such bodies should behave in such manner as to interrupt its proceedings or to impair the respect due it. Violation of parliamentary immunity. It is a crime committed by any person who shall use force, intimidation, threats, or fraud to prevent any member of the National Assembly, Congress of the Philippines, from attending the meetings of the Assembly, Congress, or of any of its committees or subcommittees, constitutional commissions or committees or divisions thereof, from expressing his opinions or casting his vote, and any public officer or employee who shall, while the Assembly, Congress, is in regular or special session, arrest or search any member thereof. Illegal assemblies. It is a crime committed by organizers or leaders of any meeting attended by armed persons for the purpose of committing any of the crimes punishable under the revised penal code, or of any meeting in which the audience is incited to the commission of the crime of treason, rebellion or insurrection, sedition or assault upon a person in authority or his agents. Illegal association. It is a crime committed by founders, directors, and presidents of associations totally or partially organized for the purpose of committing any of the crimes punishable under this code or for some purpose contrary to public morals. Public morals. Public morals refer to matters which affect the interest of society and public inconvenience and are not limited to good customs. It refers to acts that are in accordance with natural and positive laws,